Thanks, Sean. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Lakeland School Board Business Board Meeting. Today is Wednesday, March 18th. Mr. Secretary, please note a 7:10 p.m. start time. We'll start off this evening with a salute to our flag. Is it Maggie? Maggie, will you lead us off this evening?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Maggie. Mr. Secretary, could we please have roll call?
Beneski.
Present.
Boyarsky, present. Brenzel, absent. Gallagher,
Present.
Julia Morrison, Roberts, absent. Solomon,
Present.
Sullivan, Dr. Trimback-Ball.
Present.
Student reps, Maggie Pitzman,
Present.
Olivia Cunningham.
Present.
Administrators, Dr. Wyatt,
Present.
and Solicitor Attorney Finucci.
Present.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Please let the record note a 7-2, so we have a quorum. We'll move forward. Executive sessions. We had 2 executive sessions since our last meeting. We had one on March 10th for contract negotiations and personnel. We had one on this evening for student affairs. Informational items. Dr. White, do we have any informational items?
We have several, but I think our first and most important one involves our cheer squad, our distinguished guests this evening.
So we'll jump down to student recognition. You prefer we start there?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move down off the agenda here a little bit. We'll move to student recognition. We'll first start off with our student recognition for the month of January and February. I'll turn it over to Principal Bullock.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight we have 3 of our top seniors to recognize. Ashley Hemack is listed, but she was not able to attend, so she will be attending next month's meeting. So we are going to start with Anna Barrett. Anna is dedicated to learning challenging material. She has an excellent attitude, and her grades have been exceptional. Anna is a member of varsity football and basketball cheerleading, FBLA, SAD, and National Honor Society. You can come on right up here, Anna.
Good evening, everyone. I want to start by extending my thanks to the teachers and the school board for this opportunity to speak. It's an honor to share the experiences at Lakeland that have shaped me into the person I am today. More than anything, I want to express my deepest appreciation for the environment Lakeland has provided. It's a place where we don't just learn, but truly thrive. A place where friendships blossom and community support is given. I've never felt alone in my journey here. The sense of togetherness is without a doubt Lakeland's greatest strength. Here, we are encouraged to grow, to be persistent, and to always strive for more. As I prepare to graduate and embark on my next adventure at Temple University in hopes to become a psychiatrist, I carry with me the valuable tools I've gained at Lakeland, the lessons learned, the challenges overcome, and the unwavering support I've received have helped me not just for further education, but also for life itself. Thank you.
Next up this evening, we have Cody Jones. Cody? Cody is an all-around great student. By the way, these are comments from their teachers. He is always ready to work, and he has a positive attitude. Cody is a member of the varsity football team and FBLA. Welcome, Cody Jones.
I would like to start out with saying thank you to the members of the board for having me, and a thank you for the teachers who have chosen me for this award. I would also like to thank my friends and family for always inspiring me and giving me the help and support I need in order to be the best version of myself and to always keep me on top of my game. Thank you, everyone, for helping me get to this point in my life. I would also like to say that this award means a lot to me, and that it shows me that everything I had put into my senior year was noticed by all of my teachers, whether it was strictly academic or not. I'm able to really see where my hard work has gotten me, and this will definitely help me strive for more and to keep going with everything that I do. I like to think of this award as not only of what I have accomplished my senior year of high school, but my whole high school career. I have always tried to keep a good head on my shoulders when it came to anything including school, whether it was my grades, relationships with friends or teachers, or even just to make myself not only a good student, but a prestigious one that could look at me and say, he might be all right. I would like to end with saying thank you to everybody once again, and to hope everybody a good night and a safe drive home.
Last but not least, we have Andrew Takash. Andrew is an excellent student who always gives his best effort in class. Andrew is a member of the varsity football team, National Honor Society, FBLA, Scholastic team, and the Reading Club. Welcome, Andrew.
I'd like to thank everybody here for the opportunity to come up and speak for the award. I really do appreciate it. I'd like to thank my friends, my family, and school for this achievement. I truly do appreciate all the help I have received, and I could not be happier with my teachers here at Lakeland. It's been a perfect environment, both the extracurriculars and the academic aspects. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Congratulations to all of our students this evening. Before we move into another recognition, I am going to jump around again on the agenda. In terms of the CTC report, as I look at the CTC report this evening, it's really in recognition of two students, so I'll take the moment since we're recognizing at this moment versus a little later in the agenda. So Mia Cooper, a senior, one of our seniors is enrolled in patient care technician, received a certificate recognizing her as a nominee for NEIU Scholar of the Year. She's a student who is currently in a co-op at Geisinger and does extremely well in her program. And again, these are also comments from her, from the instructors at the CTC. Luca Proscia is a student, high school senior, Lakeland senior, in the current carpentry program. Luca received a score of 79.4% on his NOCTI, which is well above the cut score for the advanced category. The NOCTI is an industrial line standardization assessment in carpentry. It's similar to the PSSAs and Keystone, so a 79% passing grade is extremely high. So congrats to both of our CTC students. Where's that group over there here? Oh, guess I think they're getting that? All right. All right. I see some faces over there smiling now. Okay. One more recognition for this evening. The Lakeland School District Board of Education would like to recognize the Lakeland Chiefs Cheer Squad for winning their outstanding achievements and contributions through the 2025 and 2026 school year, including earning top banana at Pine Forest Cheer Camp. I believe, was that the first time we've won top banana as a school? Yes, excellent. So first time winning top banana. Winning the 2025 Peter Taronas NBT Bank Holiday Classic Tournament Cheer Competition, which I believe is the third year in a row we've won that. Congrats. In supporting the Lakeland School District football and basketball teams, as well as the entire school community. Your accomplishments represent the unmatched spirit, determination, and teamwork that has come to define the Lakeland Cheer Squad. You proudly represent the Lakeland School District with excellence, pride, and heart, while serving as an outstanding ambassadors for our district and community. On behalf of the Lakeland School District Board of Education, we congratulate all of you. So we have a plaque here this evening. I'm going to ask Dr. Wine if he can read the plaque for us, and then we're going to... That's the plaque? Oh, that is all the plaque. Perfect. Okay. So if I can ask the cheer team to come forward, we're going to, over in the stairwell? We're going to go over to the stairwell for some pictures.
We'll invite the board to join us for some. No, come on, I'll stay. You guys take the, you deserve the line. Oh, that should have been in the picture. Banana was in the trophy. Oh, they had it, yeah.
We should put those in.
They were behind the speakers.
I didn't see them. For the board, I think maybe for our next board meeting, when we take our picture with our next group, maybe we'll do one serious, and maybe we incorporate one funny picture in there as well. I'm sure that'll make a yearbook along the way. All right. Do we have, I think we're complete with student recognition. I'm going to go back to informational items. Dr. Wyatt, do we have informational items?
We do. We have several informational items to review this evening. So the first informational item is related to a motion on the agenda, motion 5H, which involves emergency paving work here at the high school. I'm sure as everybody drove in, the status of our blacktop in the parking lot is pretty evident. The paving project here at the high school has been put off for literally a decade. We received bids in 2016-17 to repave the parking lot, and it was not done at that time. We've kicked the can, so to speak, for this entire time, trying to pursue grants and trying to find a time when our financial situation might be a little bit better. But as of right now, there are large sections of our parking lot that have completely failed at this point, and several sections that are unsafe as of this moment. Two particular sections that pose an immediate danger. One is the center section across the front of our lot. It is coming up in chunks. And we've filled potholes for years on that section. That has to be repaired with a base repair right now. And over in the nearest the curb in the student lot is another section. If you walk on it, as is the case with several sections out front, if you walk on it, it is spongy. It is coming up in chunks. Watching cars drive on it, it literally looks like a wave in the water. It has to be done immediately. So we did receive a proposal from Krieger Construction Incorporated for emergency repair work of these specific sections. And if approved this evening, the proposal is an attachment. If approved this evening, they can do that work, a repair of the pavement and the subbase beneath the subbase and pavement repair for those specific sections over our Easter break while we're closed. Doing those emergency repairs is not wasted money if we're going to do the larger project, which we have to do the larger project, because the larger project will necessitate base repair in those sections, among many others, right? And we would be doing that anyway, so we're essentially just doing that work earlier than we would the entirety of the project. The quote is, I have to pull it up, but 39, let me pull up the quote, hang on one second.
While you're pulling that up, it is motion 5H.
5H. So the quote of the two that were offered, the second one that we're not proposing would include the final top coat. And the reason we're not proposing to do the final top coat is because when the full parking lot is done, it will just be milled off and repaved over, where if they do just the base, they're repairing the section and then waiting, which will be no issue with the quality of the product. It will actually seamlessly incorporate those two sections that are in need of immediate repair. The only thing that this quote does not incorporate, and there's no way for it to incorporate at this moment, is when they pull up the current sections that are in need of immediate repair, they don't know how much of, I'd say if any, but it's not going to be if any, how much of that section needs a sub-base repair. And that's obviously an added cost that can't be known until you dig up the current pavement. As far as sub-base goes, that's not the highest cost item in this proposal is the blacktop. That doesn't change, right? That thickness of blacktop is what it is. It's just a matter of whether there's sub-base repairs that are needed for those sections. So that proposal is for emergency repair work to be done over the Easter break. With regard to the entire parking lot, we had BDA architects here. They did bring their engineer up, and we also walked with Krieger Construction when they looked at our the sections in need of emergency repair. We've put it off this long, but the parking lot needs to be paved this summer. Like I said, large sections of it have completely failed. For example, the bus road that runs along the side and back of the building needs a full rebuild. It is again, completely failed. So with that, we can no longer really defer that project, right? It's no longer an option. And every year we push it off. Like this, hindsight is always 20/20, and our financial situation was what it was and is what it is. But every year it doesn't get done. As a section fails, that's then a sub-base repair, which is more costly, right? So we were told that the chances of the rear road, for example, even lasting another year is highly unlikely, right? So the bottom line is we've put off paving for a decade, and we know what we've gotten as a result of that. This is a project that we need to do. So with that, in order to do a full project, we know the upper limit cost of that is likely to be $1 million, right? That's not a definitive number, but when you're talking sub-base repair and everything, that kind of thinking that that's probably the upper limit. And not knowing what happens with the cost of petroleum products between now and then. Obviously, we don't have that money. We have that money in fund balance. However, that's general operating money, right? So it would be something that we would need to borrow. We need to do short-term borrowing right now in order to do that project. But if that leads into motion 5F under financial, which is it's a resolution. It's not a bond resolution. What it is it provides protection for the district, right? That if we choose to issue a bond in the future to do facility repairs, which we've talked about as being necessary, we have certain things that are deferred maintenance that, if not done in the next few years, become very problematic, such as HVAC improvements, things of that nature. By passing this resolution, 5F, it costs the district nothing, but what it does do is any project we do between now and 3 years from now, it allows us to pay ourselves back or pay off our short-term debt that we've taken for, say, the parking lot, and roll it into that future bond, right? So it costs nothing. If you decide not to do that, that's fine also. There's no obligation to issue a bond. It simply provides protection that over the course of 3 years, if you issue a bond, you can then pay yourself back for capital improvements that you've undertaken during those 3 years. So that is why that is on the agenda. That's 5F. And then that leads into motion 5G, which is a proposal from BDA Architects, LLC. That is for the engineering and design work that will be required for paving. And we've talked about, we still have grant funds left over from our ceiling project. The obvious question would be, can those funds be applied to the parking lot? They absolutely cannot. They are 100% for ceiling and lighting repairs. So the BDA proposal would be for the engineering and design work required for the paving project and the small drop ceiling project that we will do at one or both of the elementaries in order to utilize the remainder of our grant funds. And the areas we're looking at are the libraries, where we are in most need with the insulation falling off. Again, it depends though on how, whether we could do both or one, but the proposal for the initial design work is at the hourly rate with a cost not to exceed $25,000. That is preliminary until we know the scope of the projects, and then if we choose to, we can then convert to a fixed rate, backing out the hourly rate that was incurred for the initial design work. Both projects require architectural engineering design, and with regard to the paving project, that bid needs to be done as quickly as possible in order to have the timelines match up to award the bid so that the work can be done this summer. And with regard to the parking lot also, I'll just note that the parking lot did not look nearly as bad. The parking lot never looked good. Let's be very honest and clear about that, right? But this year was one of the worst winters we've had in several years. We've kind of gotten away easy the past couple of years. And the way the parking lot has deteriorated from November until now, we did not foresee. We haven't seen that level of deterioration, and it's forced our hands at this point. So it became readily apparent about a week and a half ago that some sections were, the parking lot has really, really become a major issue. And that's not to say that hasn't always been a major issue, but, so those are those three motions, all interrelated. Are there any questions? I know the bond one can be a little bit confusing. For the record, it's not an approval of that motion, is not us issuing a bond or making a decision to issue a bond. It is purely a safeguard that if we do in the future, we will be able to cover projects that are undertaken within the previous 3 years.
Questions, anyone?
I asked a question in the work session. Mark said that a safety grant under safety, he mentioned that, and I don't think there's anything that would stop that parking lot from being a safety issue. This is more or less aimed at our solicitor. What more could you ask for than the deplorable condition of that parking lot? And suppose somebody breaks an ankle. Why wouldn't it be a safety issue if there is money available under safety to help with that project? I'm not saying cover it all, but help with it. Am I in left field, or?
Oh, no, you're definitely employing common sense, but.
So I have some thoughts on it, but Dr. Wine, if you would like to answer, and then I can chime in.
Yeah.
You know more about the merits of the grant than I do, but I could take some really educated guesses as to what the grant would say.
So I'm aware of the restrictions on the grant, and I will email PCCD tomorrow to confirm, right, what I understand. But the grant that we're talking about, because I could not agree more, Joe. Like, it's way more of a safety issue than a lot of the things that grant would cover, right? But it's a competitive safety grant. Paving was not an acceptable use. And we run into this with grants. The school facilities improvement grant, right, for the ceilings? Believe me, every one of these grants we've chased, we've asked, is paving an eligible expense? Because that's what it comes down to. No, has been the answer. But I will reach out to PCCD tomorrow morning to confirm, but I do know that we were awarded a competitive safety grant for a specific set of projects that were tied directly to this Pennsylvania State Police's school-wide threat assessment evaluation that they do every 5 years. And so I hope I'm pleasantly surprised, but I know that paving was not an allowable expense under that grant. I'd be surprised if it is now.
Different definitions of safety, Mr. Sullivan, is probably what it boils down to. I mean, the grants have their own specific definitions, and in this case, as to what safety is, our view of the safety is a different, falls under a different term, I think.
May I?
Yeah, sure.
Paving unto itself, sounds like the state is okay with that. That's a minefield. That's not paving.
I agree.
For God's sakes. You know, you gotta send a picture.
Oh.
It's worth 100,000 words.
So I will tell you that I did have, as we're chasing these grants, our legislators are major proponents on our behalf, right? Two of our legislators that visited, I asked them to drive through this, who visited Scott campus, to drive through this parking lot and to be very careful doing so they could see firsthand what we're dealing with, right? And GSL, the consulting firm that we use to secure grants, right, has many photos of this parking lot on file. And when we apply for grants, we always send those photos in first to ask if this would, kind of like the idea of what you're saying. We know it's not allowed, but look at what we have here, right? We have not been, we've not been successful or found a grant that would allow us to utilize that for the parking lot. But I will absolutely reach out to PCCD tomorrow, and I will include the pictures and say, talk about a safety need, this is a number one. And all they could do is say no, right? And that, I mean, $45,000, but that's $45,000 towards the project. And we're still waiting on an answer from the DCED grant that we have, that as of right now is not approved for paving, but we're lobbying for
We
that
gotta give it
one
another word.
to be approved.
We gotta use the English. language.
Resurfacing, paving, lower extremity preservation, yes, all those.
Minefield.
All the minefield could work. We will try, but I will say, the one thing I'll say is that the grants that we currently have, the only one that even as of right now that we believe has any potential is the DCED grant. But that's a maybe at best. So, but I will reach out to PCCD tomorrow with photos.
Okay, one more thing. If money is an issue, I think you have to do it by priority. And I think that parking lot is number one priority.
Yes.
Would there be any benefit to take the drop ceiling project and push it aside?
We can do that. However, it is it's only a 25% match on the part of the school district. So if we can postpone that, which is not a problem. Again, it's a small area, right? It's not a big area.
Is there an advantage to doing that?
The,
Is there a disadvantage to
I
doing
think
it?
I think the advantage would be cash flow, right? But I don't know if that would be worth leaving the 75% that was given to us on the table,
That's-
right? Yeah, yeah, so
I need clarification on
yeah,
that.
so if we can punt to the next school year for that, but we may not be able to because that grant does expire June 30th, and June 30th of '27, so we'd have to get an extension on it, which doesn't mean we
How
can't
do you
get
get
an
an
extension.
extension? Is there such a thing as an extension?
Some grants there are, some grants there aren't. I haven't looked into that because it's June of 2027 and we don't have that much money, so I thought we'd probably just button up what we can and move on. And for that, I want to say we have 40,000 left. So at a 25% match, we'd have to dig in our pocket for 10,000. And while we're not rich, that's a small number rather than hanging on to the grant for an additional year.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's great questions, and I appreciate the opportunity to clarify on that.
Anyone else? Any other questions? Any additional information items? No. Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to public comment on agenda items. Do we have any public comment on our agenda items. I do have, I think, in one of our last, one of our prior board meetings, we did update our policy. We need to have a sign-in sheet for board for comment. So let me ask you, do we have any public comment on any agenda items? Yep. If you want to come
So
up.
I think Shirley's.
Yeah, Shirley's on there.
But I don't know if that's an agenda item. right?
Oh, yep,
her
that's not an
second.
agenda, Shirley. We'll hold out to the end for any open items.
We have a
That's not
second, a
yep,
second period, a second
Yep.
public comment period.
Good point.
Sorry.
Do we have any others? Yep. We have to have her send us in advance, right?
We'll have her sign it right there.
The 38,940. Now, how is that going to be incorporated into the future paving? I mean, that's not going to be redone?
No.
Or re-glossed?
No. So that's, thanks, Rose, that's it. Well, you know what, let me, if you give me all the questions and I'll answer them.
Well, you kind of covered most of what I was going to ask you about paving, because it is a disaster.
It is.
All right, well, that was that. And the same thing on that. We have so many representatives that are running for reelection or new. Have you reached out to any of them? I mean, they're looking for votes. There's money that they can access, that they can donate to the school district. Have you been able to do any of that? So that would cover that. And also on G, for the hourly rate for the architects, how much is the hourly rate? And how much of it is remaining on the grant for the drop ceiling? And the others is non-agenda.
All right, so Rose, the paving, so yeah, it's not a fix that section and then have it rip back up, which is what we absolutely want to avoid, right? It's just wasting money. By choosing the course that we're choosing, the work that we're going to do over Easter, we anticipate doing over Easter break, is work that would have to be done, the base repairs, when we did the full project. That will mean that we won't have to do those sections. And we're purposefully not choosing to put the top coat on, because that would then get put on and milled up. And you'd have seams, it's not worth it. So if we just do the base, sit for the couple months, which we've been assured is no issue for that period of time, it's strong enough, it'll hold, then that area won't have to be repaired, and they'll top everything to make it seamless. So it's almost like doing a small portion of the work a few months in advance to mitigate a dangerous situation. With regard to the representatives, we have, and we've reached out, we actually hosted Senator Flynn and Representative Kosarowski in January, I think, at Scott Campus, or February, early February, and Representative Mullins and Senator Brown at Mayfield Campus. We brought them in because, one, they were instrumental in helping us get that drop ceiling grant, and if anybody had spent any time in the elementary schools, we all are aware of the blown-on insulation. It was falling down. It was a hazard. So we wanted to bring them in to thank them, number one, but also to show them, because they had been in the building prior, to see. And we said, look, this is what you guys did. This, your efforts got us this, and a huge improvement to our physical plant. And also, at that time, to lobby them to say, you know, we need more help, right? The Lakeland School, especially because the Lakeland School District is not a great beneficiary of a lot of these state funds that are being thrown around. Many districts around us are getting a lot of state funding, and we're not, right? So we have brought them in. We have very good relationships. I take the trip down to Harrisburg at least once a year, sometimes twice a year, to sit with them, make sure that they know that, you know, who I am, who we are as a school district. We tout our strengths, our positives, and just tell them that their investment in our school district, you know, goes a long way, and we are never shy to say, hey, there's votes up in Lakeland, right? You gotta support the school district, and our representatives have been good to us. And I always tell them, don't get sick of me, because you're gonna hear from me constantly about every grant, right? Like, because it's the only way you can do it. So we received $450,000 in the school facility improvement grant. which was for the drop ceilings. We've received 81,000 for the school environmental repairs grant, which will go to fund half of our, it's a 50-50 match. That'll fund half of our water filtration project here at the high school. We've gotten a $250,000 DCED grant that is for school improvements. And I know I'm going off the cuff and I'm missing one here. We received, I want to say $80,000 in a curriculum grant, dual enrollment curriculum grant. That was a while back. And we received $113,000 for PCCD competitive safety grant. So we've been really successful with grants. Now, they're very restrictive, but they've allowed us to really advance the ball in a lot of categories, a lot of ways. Again, our reps have been good to us, but we're never going to stop asking, and they know that, and but we've been aggressive going after grants and making sure we're lobbying on our own behalf. We're not being passive and just waiting around.
Hang on, Sam. Rose, in addition, we had an opportunity, Dr. Wine and I, to meet Representative Bresnahan.
Oh, yeah.
So on a federal level, we had a chance to, Representative Bresnahan, Dr. Wyatt and I had an opportunity to meet, to have similar dialogue. It was just a few weeks ago, but we're also trying on that avenue as well.
So, yeah, the hourly rate is spelled out in the enclosure as an attachment to the proposal. I won't go through all of them, but if you look, Rose, do you have a copy of the enclosures?
Yeah, I did. I didn't get a chance to read all of them. So that's under what, 5E? Oh, no, under 5F?
That is under 5G, 5G, and that's page 6 of the proposal, is their schedule of wage rates. And then the drop ceiling grant, I'm going to give a round number, has about $40,000 remaining on it. Thank you.
Let's get her to sign that. Rose, we'll have to, before you leave, we'll bring the sign-in sheet down to you.
Mark, I charge for my
No problem. Don't charge too much, though. All right. Any other comment? Yep, Bill? Okay, thanks.
I know we don't have a ton of money, but I also know that our sidewalks are in deplorable condition, and to have this tore up and everything after a great new paving project. Have we put any thought into maybe, I just hate to see something, I know money in concrete is through the roof, but I know it's been mentioned before that at some point, the sidewalks are probably gonna have to be reconditioned to some extent. I know we've talked in the past before, but to have heavy equipment and everything come back over to tear up the sidewalk, even if it's in 3 years when we're able to do it, I just hate to see us put that much money into the parking lot, which absolutely needs to be done anyway. See that, but at some point, I know there's going to be a sidewalk project that's definitely going to need to be done, if not in the distant future, potentially in the near future. So I don't know if we can run that by contractors or anything, just to not to be a hammer and a shovel to dig up the concrete, but it's something that we talked about, see if it's never been mentioned or thought about.
See if there's any other questions before we move on. Bill, has any others?
Oh, yeah. Bill, do you have any other questions besides the sidewalks, just so? Okay. Yeah, that's a great question. And just, I know we're kind of informal right now, and but the people at home, if they can't hear, so I'll just reiterate the question. Tell me if I get it wrong. But Bill asked about since we're considering a paving project, knowing that our sidewalks are in, as you put it very kindly, rough shape, they're in bad shape too. And what's is there any thought to do that project together so as to not, waste funds? So, to be honest, one of the things that's kind of held up the paving part was the idea that we had to couple the two projects, right? Because concrete is unbelievably expensive. And we're kind of at the point financially, and certainly if the board is looking to go in a different direction, because Bill's point is 100% spot on, but to do the two is more than double the cost of what the paving is. And we don't want to be penny wise and pound foolish either, right? Because you're mobilizing. But we did talk to, when Krieger Construction was up, to look at and do an assessment of what needs, in their opinion, emergency repairs, which we then had Don Flynn, we didn't just require or go on a contractor's word on it. We did, verify that. But the question was, are we going to waste our money, if we do the paving and don't do the sidewalks at the same time? And their assessment was, it's always great to do the two together, right? But taking a reasonable look, sidewalks are bad, paving is awful, right? Blacktop is awful right now in terms of the status. And our curbing is breaking down. There is no doubt that we're in need of new sidewalks. But if we do them separately, that was not something that they said in their experience is problematic, because they said, you just essentially saw cut, even if it's new pavement, saw cut a space, do the new curbing, and just pave back up against it. It'd be ideal to do it all together, but it's not because our first question is, are we wasting money, right? Are we going to spend all this money and then have a massive problem because we decided not to do one and do the other? So to answer the question, you're 100% right that the sidewalks are not in good shape, but I think that in our current situation, probably not something. It's not a waste of money to do the paving and not do the sidewalks, and we will have to do the sidewalks in the near future, but probably not together with this project. And that may be, if we're looking at a bond issue, right, in the future, that might be part of that tie-in. So, thank you.
I got another question. If I don't say this, I'm going to kick myself.
No, you got to say it.
Honest to God. I think the last time they did any kind of paving, they used millings. Am I correct? Anybody else?
I've heard that. I don't know if that's true.
I hope we're not going to go that route this time.
So I don't want to speak for a paving contractor, but well, here's the bottom line is that would be in the spec. So we would see that, right? And we'll tell,
It should be in there.
BDA's architect, well, because
engineering
it's going to go for
release.
competitive bids, so the people bidding on it have to know exactly what they're bidding on to give that price. So our expectation is that our parking lot will be resurfaced in a manner that is equivalent to any large corporate operation, right? So in terms of quality.
And I think Billy knows all. Sidewalks, it's the stuff that you're putting on them to break up the ice is what breaks up the concrete. If the expensive stuff is used, it won't affect concrete. If you put rock salt on it, it will eat concrete.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's exactly what's going on. Penny wise and dollar foolish is what it amounts to.
Yeah, and I mean, our sidewalks are original to the building too, so we're 50 years on, and there's a lot of sinking. But you're 100% right that, we save money on one end, right? It's the same thing as the paving, right? We push off doing paving. Right. There's no doubt that more areas have broken down in that time period.
You're going to pay.
And hindsight's always 20/20, and if our financial situation was different, but here we are. But yeah, it's a good point with the sidewalks.
And they may even be our original sidewalks.
They are.
They
are.
I don't know if
Appear
they've
that
ever
they're
been
original.
replaced. So, okay. Any other public comment on agenda items?
On the paving, can you require some sort of a warranty? Because I know paving like residential, of course, it's only a small area.
Good point.
And then a year later, they have all sorts of problems. Is there going to be some sort of a warranty? Or can you ask for one so that a year down the road, we don't have a problem?
So that'll be something that I'll run by BDA. I mean, our expectation is that there needs to be a safeguard that 1 year on, we don't have a damaged parking lot, right? Unless there's abuse or something like that. So to answer the question, Rose, I don't know definitively. I wouldn't want to say absolutely, because I don't know what is common when doing paving, but we will incorporate as many safeguards as we can to make sure that that the school district is protected. So that's the best I can answer at the moment. And I think we should put speed bumps out front too. I'm going to put a plug in for that. You got people moving out there sometimes.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on to board committee reports. We'll start off with our student representative reports. Ms. Olivia?
Hi, so I will just be touching on the upcoming sports which we have this season. I don't really have much because they just began a couple of weeks ago, but for the spring we have our baseball team, our softball team, and our track team, and both began a couple of weeks ago, like I said. And baseball and softball both have scrimmages this Saturday, and track has a meet next Wednesday. And then just additionally, one more thing I would like to say was last week we had cheer tryouts, which we named the new captains for the upcoming season. They're Camry Nanowitz, Annalise Pepsin, Gianna Weck, and Caitlin McAllister. And then we also added 10 new girls on the football squad and 10 new girls on the basketball squad. So Charlotte Solomon is actually one of them. So congratulations to all of them. And that's all I really have for the sports.
Thanks, Olivia.
In terms of student life, it's a good time here in the high school because we're right in the middle of Spirit Week. So we've been playing games and dressing up every day on top of our schoolwork. And tomorrow we actually have our talent show. We were just telling Dr. Wyatt, we got a good 5 acts. We were practicing here earlier, so we're going to take the stage tomorrow.
I hope this meeting gives us good luck for our show tomorrow.
So by the end of the week, hopefully we'll have a senior win for Spirit Week. Our junior high and high school reading teams just competed in their regional competition. I know that we had a bunch of Unified Tribe members go to the Polar Plunge on Montage Mountain, and National Honor Society members volunteering there as well. Our drama club put on their production of SpongeBob, and they had 3 showings of their extremely hard work, and Olivia and I went, and it was really good. We loved it. And upcoming, before we see you guys next, we'll have already gone on our senior class trip to Boston, which is April 16th through 18th. And right now we're gearing up for our last fundraiser here, which is going to be a cornhole tournament on the half day before Easter.
Thank you, Maggie. Thanks to both of you. Olivia, I can't help but ask, I think we're midway through Spirit Week. Are the seniors leading right now, or?
We are currently in the lead, but not by much. I want to say 5 points, but that they could come catch us anytime now, so we'll just have to see on Friday.
Okay, well, good luck. Thanks, ladies. Okay, we'll move on to legislative chair. Mr. Boneski.
No legislative chair report.
Thank you. NEIU, Mrs. Roberts.
Mrs. Roberts sent.
Oh, she sent the report. Okay.
She sent some information for me to share.
Perfect, thank
on
you.
her behalf. So for the NEIU board representative report, she just asked me to mention that the elementary PBIS, our elementary PBIS reps from Mayfield and Scott Campus had an opportunity to attend Mid-Valley's PBIS programming in action. That's the positive behavior intervention support programs that at both buildings are doing some great things. It's where you hear about our blowouts and all that good stuff. So we're thankful for our teacher leaders and administrators who attended that session at Mid-Valley. And she also asked me to mention that Mrs. Barrett's 6th grade Mayfield team and Mrs. Davis's 7th through 12th grade high school team proudly represented the Lakeland School District at the NEIU reading competition last week. So those are the updates from the NEIU chair.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Wine. CTC, I already gave that report a little earlier. Do we have any correspondence?
We do not.
Okay. We will move on to the motions. I'll make a motion to approve agenda items, motion 1A, and 1B, I will make a motion to approve the February 18th, 2026 regular business board meetings per closure 1A. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motions 1A and 1B pass. 2A, please. Ready?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to accept the letter of retirement from Cassandra Kobrick, high school science teacher, effective July 28th of 2026.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 2A passes.
I just want to take one quick second to thank Mrs. Kobrick for many years of dedicated service to the Lakeland School District and to all of our students. She's done a phenomenal job for us, and we wish her the very, very best in her retirement.
Thank you. 2B, please.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the request of employee number 714 for maternity leave absence for the 2026-2027 school year.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 2B passes. C, please.
Mr. President, I make a motion to appoint Jamie Weibel as homebound teacher for student number 95697377913.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? C passes. 2D, please.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the MOU between the Lakeland Education Association and the Lakeland School District per enclosure 2A.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 2D passes. 3A, please.
Mr. President, I motion to approve the kindergarten through 12th guidance 339 plan per enclosure 3A.
Second.
Question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 3A passes. 4A, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Millersville University School Nurse Certification Agreement between Millersville University and the Lakeland School District for enclosure 4A.
Second.
Question? In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 4A passes. B, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution in support of PIAA House Bill 41, Pennsylvania School Boundary Athletic Alliance per enclosure 4B.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? B passes. 5A, please.
Mark, I thought you were going to do a roll call there.
Oh.
I have a conflict with this.
Oh, sorry.
Could you please do a roll call
For B?
for B?
I don't know if we have to do a roll call. I'll ask Attorney Fucci. Can we just simply, if we have one nay?
Your intention to abstain?
Yes.
So announce your abstention.
Okay.
Is
I
it due-
abstain due to me working for a private school.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
Motions.
We ask the secretary to have the minutes reflect that it was an all in favor minus the abstention of Mrs. Julia Morse. Okay?
Thanks, Mr. Boyarsky. Motion still passes. Okay. Thanks, Mr. Morrison. 5A, please.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the list of bills for February 11th, 2026 through March 10th, 2026 per enclosure 5A.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 5A passes. B, please.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the treasurer's report from February 2026 per enclosure 5B.
Second.
Question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? B passes. C, please.
Mr. President, I motion to approve the nutrition group to continue as the Lakeland School District food service provider for a one-year contract renewal for the 26-27 school year per enclosure 5C.
Second.
Mr. Secretary, could we, on the question? Mr. Secretary, could we please have a roll call?
Beneski?
Yes.
Boyarsky? Yes. Gallagher?
Yes.
Julia Morrison?
Yes.
Solomon?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Trembeck Ball?
Yes.
C passes. D, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the superintendent to solicit competitive bids, proposals for one or all of the following projects to be completed during the summer of 2026. PFAS filtration at Lakeland Junior Senior High School, installation of protective bollards at all schools, paving at Lakeland Junior Senior High School, and the drop ceilings at Mayfield and/or Scott campus.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? D passes. E, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposal from Pannoni Associates, Inc. for AHERA inspection to be performed during the summer of 2026 per enclosure 5D.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? E passes. F, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve a motion authorizing the adoption by the School Board of Lakeland School District of a resolution declaring its intent to reimburse itself for expenditures to be paid by the school district from its general funds in connection with capital projects of the school district with the proceeds of a tax-exempt bond issue, all as more fully described in the complete text of the resolution, per enclosure 5E.
Second?
On the question, roll call, please.
Benesky,
Yes.
Boyarsky, yes. Gallagher,
Yes?
Julia Morrison,
Yes.
Solomon,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Trembekbach.
Yes.
Motion F passes. G, please.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the proposal from BDA Architects LLC to provide design services for the elementary drop ceiling and high school paving projects to be billed hourly at a cost not to exceed $25,000 per enclosure 5F.
Second.
On the question, roll call, please.
Benesky,
Yes.
Boyarsky, yes. Gallagher,
Yes?
Julia Morrison,
Yes.
Solomon,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Trembekbach.
Yes.
5G passes. 5H, please.
Mr. President, I motion to approve the proposal from Krieger Construction Incorporated for emergency blacktop repairs at the Lakeland Junior Senior High School per enclosure 5G.
Second.
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? H passes. 6A, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve a motion to donate or dispose of broken or unused cafeteria items and equipment per enclosure 6A.
Second?
On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 6A passes.
Just one note on that motion, some of those items will be donated to the Mayfield Junior Baseball Association, who suffered an unfortunate situation with vandalism at their concession stand and field.
Good idea.
Yeah, great idea. Thank you, Dr. Wyatt. Public comment. Do we have any overall public comment? Yep. Shirley, yep.
I can make a suggestion first. Maybe you should let the people have their questions first. Because I learned a lot about construction just there that I didn't need to know. Okay, anyway, I'm just here to ask a simple question after all this waiting. I would like to know how you expect, I'm 81 years old, paying $2,400 a year school tax. I'd like to know how you think this could go on with people of my age and even younger people. What are we supposed to do with that? $2,400 a year. That's ridiculous. Do you have any comments on that?
Do you have any other questions? Sure.
No, that's the question I came to ask, yeah.
Okay, yep.
So, yeah, I mean, I could offer comment on that, Shirley. I think that the way Pennsylvania chooses to fund its public schools, right, is...
But are you guys not the final of the, like, I went up to pay my tax up, to, the fire hall last year, $2,300 or whatever, close to. And I was so angry, and I says to, what's her name, Heather, I said, Heather, this is so ridiculous. I have to give you this money that I need for myself and my family. And she said, well, take it to the school board. They're the ones. So here I am.
So, I don't know if you want to offer, but I'm happy. So, you're not going to like my answer. I know you're not going to like what I have to say, because I don't have a good answer for that, Shirley, honestly. The only answer is that while the school board makes a decision on whether or not to raise taxes each year, right, or keep taxes the same, or reduce taxes,
The school taxes.
right? It is the school board. That is most certainly the school board's responsibility. And I know it's going to sound like I'm pushing off blame, right? But ultimately, the school district doesn't have the choice, or the school board doesn't have a choice to say, you know what, our local taxpayers are pitching in their fair share already. We're going to raise the rate that the state pays us to educate students, right? Instead of raising taxes or reducing taxes, whatever the case may be, right? Thanks to the current structure, the only mechanism that this school board or any school board in Pennsylvania has to fund school operations is through local taxes. And I can't speak for anybody on the school board. I could speak from personal opinion that there are many states, I want to say 42 or 43 out of 50, right, who the state foots far more of the bill for education, public education, than local taxpayers. Pennsylvania, though, is not one of them. And one thing I can say is that everyone is very sensitive to the fact that there are a whole lot of people, right, who have to make a difficult decision between paying their taxes, which is not a choice, right, in a lot of ways. Exactly. Or purchasing necessities, right? And with that, this school district tries everything possible to fund this operation in any way we can that wouldn't include raising school taxes, and to limit how much we spend to provide the education to our students. And our main budget struggles, which I can tell you with 100% certainty, are the same at almost every school district in the state of Pennsylvania right now. Our charter school cost, our healthcare, and our special education costs. All three of those fall outside of the board and the district's control. All three of those. And that is among the most frustrating things because they are, specifically special education, costs associated with special education, and cyber charter tuition are mandated.
Well, let me tell you this, okay? I'm paying $2,400. We are. 24, my husband just passed away, so it's me now. And anyway, we're paying that much money. And I know people, I've talked to a lot of people, they're paying half of what I'm paying. Now, where is the fairness of that? And you know what? There should be a limit on when you're done, what, in your 80s or you're 62 and you're done. You shouldn't even have to pay a school tax. I paid for my kids, my grandkids, and now my great-grandkids. And now I'm still 81 and I got to do this. I got to come up with this money. There is no fairness in that, and it's very, what can I say, burdensome. So what can you do about it? This year, what can you do before it's time to pay it in September? You gotta, why don't you take a big vote on something to do for this, because this has gotta stop. And I'm not the only one. I don't know where all the people are, because you hear the complaints out in the community all the time. Why aren't they here? I don't know. But I am very burdened with this.
So surely the process, and I understand, clearly understand, the process of how it's set up, that doesn't lie here, like how the state has it set up with the overall, the getting funding from the state as well as the local sources. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Ryan, I believe we're at about a $28 million budget at Lakeland.
About 30.
30, around approximately 55% of that comes from the local tax, the residents. The other 45 approximately comes from the state. So it's not quite 50-50, but it's pretty close. Now, if we don't get any funding or any additional increase in the state, and there was a stretch there for quite a few years where we haven't, and as you know, as everybody knows, everything goes up every year. If it goes up the cost of living at 3%.
So it's really the state that's
Well,
not doing their job too. Of course, they're out to get every buck they can get.
Well, I think, hang on one second, I don't think anybody here is trying to pass the dollar, right? We struggle with it, yes. We struggle at the state level the way, as Dr. Wine said, it's set up in 42 of the 50 states in Pennsylvania. So I'm not trying to say, pass that to representatives and things, but it is, like, we only control 55% of our income. So it is a challenge.
Well, then I don't know. I just came to ask that question because I was angry last year, but now I'm just like, what can I do? What can all these other people do? The younger people even, the younger ones, they're in just as bad a shape because everything is so high. So maybe you should go after our state a little bit more aggressively.
We are, and we mentioned earlier, or I mentioned to one of the other members in the audience, that we have had conversations at that level with a representative, both state representatives and federal representatives. In addition, keep in mind that the assessment went through for the county, but the school taxes have not, that hasn't been finalized of yet.
No,
So there will be changes for residents within the district as well. Again, it's a net neutral budget, but there will be changes. So we haven't had that formalized at this point to get out into the public, but that will be coming for the upcoming season based on the reassessments that were done. So it was done for the county, obviously, and which would take precedence for the school as well.
So but this is the thing, I'm paying close to 2,500. I know people that are paying half.
Yeah.
How are you gonna fix that?
And Shirley, one thing, number one, we can't fix that, but, and what Mr. Solomon mentioned, I think, it could be relevant. I say could be, and I'm not being evasive, but I don't want to say things I don't definitively know, right? But with reassessment,
But that'll be next year or so.
No, that's this year. That's this year. So your current county tax bill should reflect your new assessed value, and your current municipal tax bill should reflect your new assessed value. We have not gotten our finalized assessments yet where we can reset our millage. Now, it's not, our budget our revenue has to stay the same, right? We don't get to make any money off reassessment. Not supposed to lose any money off reassessment. We're supposed to just reset our millage so that we get the same amount of money. Now, again, I don't want to say this could happen or this is going to happen, but according to the county, the way it's going to work with reassessment is that about a third of people will stay the same, a third of people will go up, and a third of people will go down. The people who go up supposedly have been underpaying their fair share based on their assessed value for however period of time. The people who go down, supposedly, have been overpaying
So it
that time.
just depends on your reassessment. Age has nothing to do. If you're 100 years old, you're still gonna, whatever.
So the reassessment, which we have no part in, right, that's totally the county, it's just, we're just provided with those values, but this is the year that the reassessed values go into place, and so some people's are going to go down, some people's will go up, and some people's will stay the same without us doing a single thing in terms of taxes. I don't know where yours will fall, but I'm just saying that's to your question of some people don't pay as much, there's different assessed values, some people's homes aren't worth as much.
I think
but
they ought to use some new rules in their assessments, obviously, and age should be one of those factors. Yeah, there's a lot of things that need adjustment, especially in the state of Pennsylvania. Tell you right now, this state is not what I remember when I was a kid. Well, thanks for the answers, and I hope something somehow clears out, because people are going down with the food, the gas, and everything else. What are we going to do? It's got to be. We voted you guys in. Go for them. Go get them for us, will ya?
Thank you, Charlotte. Do we have any other comments? Rose?
Okay, well, this lady, she kind of covered everything that I was going to address. But the reassessment, that is for just 1 year that you're set at that. Coming up the following year, you could raise it to whatever you feel like. Yeah. It's 1 year that it has to stay level.
So do you have any more that just so I? Okay.
Maybe she could, the 1st of April, go down the county and appeal.
Yeah. Rose, do you have any more for us?
We don't.
We have nothing to do with assessment, Shirley. Now, yeah, you can appeal to the county. Everybody has the ability or the option to appeal. And you should know what your assessed value is. They sent it to you, the county is they. It was sent to you, and your municipality as well as your county taxes based on that. But there is an appeal process that you could take to the county. The school tax, that assessed value, and maybe there's some folks home here that are listening, so the way the assessment will work is it's already impacted for the municipality, for the county, and the school bills, tax bills, they don't get mailed until August. The assessed values will be, the tax bills for the 2026 school year will be based on that new assessed value. Well, yeah, they'll sell your property, yeah, yeah. 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 Rose, you have any other questions?
I just want to comment. Now, see, a lot of people are confused, because in the past, your tax bill went by the common level ratio, which is not a true value. You had to multiply by whatever the state said, but I'm not going to get into that.
Yep.
That whole thing. I mean, but you need to appeal it, or if you qualify, apply for that tax rebate that comes out. Now, the charter school, are we getting, has that law gone through that, I think it was Representative Brown, where they're capping the charter school? And what's our status on charter school? Are we getting people back? Is it going up? And again, do you have, I didn't get a chance to see if it's in that financial report. What is the financial status of the school district? Are we headed for a deficit? From what I'm, the fast look that I took, I mean, how bad is it? I think it's going to be pretty bad. And I know about cutting expenses, but you got to start somewhere. And I've said this over and over, and I know it's just repetitive. And
Yeah. Any other questions, Rose? Okay.
All right, so Rose, first on the comment about 1 year. So I think that there's kind of intertwining two different concepts. One is the fact that it has to be revenue neutral is just setting our millage, right? So we do that 1 year. This year and every year moving forward, unless something changes with the statute, the district has the ability to raise taxes only to the Act 1 index, right? So the two of those things are separate. This year, the resetting of the millage just does exactly that, resets our millage, but what we can't do is, if, let's say, let's use round numbers, right? Let's say we had to reset our millage to 10 as opposed to 132, right? Because of the way it works now with the people having their actual assessed values. The school district can't say, well, we're going to go to 11 so that it brings in an extra, $200,000. We have to look at how much we brought in last year at those assessed values and then reset the millage at that same amount, right? If the school district this year, next year, following years decided to raise taxes, right, it can't go above the Act 1 index. But the resetting of the millage and decisions to raise taxes are two separate items. And the resetting of millage only happens once.
well, then it falls differently than under the county and the municipalities.
No, they only had one opportunity to reset their millage also. Whether or not they raised taxes was a different story, but they only had one opportunity to reset their millage, and it had to be revenue neutral.
So
You couldn't have a windfall.
So for example, I'll put it in dollars, just as an example, I'm not saying these are the exact numbers, but if I mentioned before, around 55% of the budget is through the local tax source, right? And the other 45 is through the state. So just as an example, I don't have that number in front of me, but if the 55% was $18 million, when the assessed values of the assessments went in and we need to recalculate, it needs to come back out to the 18 million. We can't increase that. So there's no change in what we're going, a district, nor the county, nor the local municipalities are going to get. The only change could be is if we do raise, once they are reset, if we do raise taxes this year, then it would be reset and there would be a tax increase on that. But the reassessment is going to have the same dollar value coming into the school. It's just, it could be different for individuals that, the residents that pay the value, because their assessments could be higher, some are gonna be lower, but it needs to come out to what we're referring to as a net neutral. So it's a net neutral, I give that, that is example of 18 million. That comes back into the school. The only increase would be through, as Dr. Wine said, to the Act 1 index, if we were to raise taxes, in which that decision doesn't happen until the June board meeting.
So what is
So I'm going to get to that. I'm going to go through a couple of the other questions sequentially here. So your question about Senator Brown's proposal on the charter schools to cap the tuition, that was not accepted. There was reform that was passed with the state budget, and what that reform was essentially was it altered the formula that we would figure out our per-student tuition. It allowed us to exempt more items that we think were the right things to exempt that wouldn't impact charter schools. Our estimated savings with those exemptions in there is about, this year, $160,000. Now, that's an estimate. That could change greatly depending on how it works. However, they did cut a cyber charter transition payment that we were receiving previous to that. That was $152,510. So if we were to get the estimated $160,000, and we think it might be a little more than that, but if we went with the estimated $160,000, but we didn't get the $152,000, our overall savings would be about $7,500. That's nothing. But I don't want to, they did put some good laws, some good rules in place. One of them is that students who are habitually truant, a lot of times when we would bring them up on truancy, they'd go to cyber charter. They're not allowed to do that anymore. They have to be sent by a judge to cyber charter. There's also residency verification twice a year. That's the parents of cyber charter students are required to provide to make sure that students in cyber school haven't moved out of your district and you don't know it and you're still paying for them. So there was, among some other, it also changed the special education formula, which we think is advantageous in our favor. We'll have to see what a year looks like and how much we actually save. But while we didn't see the reforms that we wanted, these are some good reforms, and I think that they will create savings as we move on, and it addresses some of the biggest problems we've had. But with the way the state is with funding us, it's not enough. They need to either really reform cyber charter or provide us with more state funds to cover the skyrocketing expenses.
Did you get that question?
Yeah. Shirley, let me finish all Rose's questions. So that's a little bit more involved. And you know what? If you wouldn't mind, could I take your phone number? I can give you a call tomorrow. I'll call you. I'll call you tomorrow. And I'll explain everything I can. We've talked before, Shirley. I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
with all due respect, I'm answering a question for somebody in front of you, and it might be a little bit difficult to answer right now.
Yeah, sure. The board doesn't set the assessed value. That's done through an assessor at the county. Yeah.
I do think that we probably don't have all the information on
We
that
don't.
either.
We don't. I think we would probably make a guess. Yeah. We mentioned there's an appeal process, right? It may be best at the appeal process, if that's an avenue you take, to answer those questions. I don't know if anybody up here can intelligently give
Or
you the
more
full
importantly,
answer.
accurately, I think,
Accurately
is
give you the
the
answer on
concern.
that, because we didn't do the the county. Yeah. I believe they assess the dwelling, which is a home or a building, and they also assess the land, the property. Now, keep in mind, those assessments haven't been done since, I think it was 1968. So we are, even though all values will go up, because the last time they were assessed was 1968, again, our net, we stay at net neutral. If everybody goes up, we decrease the mills, the millage, to come out to the same dollar amount as that example I gave you of approximately 18 million. So. Yep. Yeah. Okay. How about if we, yeah, how about,
Shirley, do you have any questions that I can answer? Please call the school, okay? Anytime.
absolutely.
Thank you. Rose, just really quick wrap up on, so that's the status of the charter school reform. Our charter school status is pretty much status quo. We've lost a few students. We've had a few students move in that are in cyber charter. We had a few students come back too. So you know, but it really is kind of status quo. As for the financial status of the district and specifically with cutting expenses, we've been cutting expenses. We've reduced by attrition. We're down about 5 full-time teaching positions in the last 3 years. We've identified several positions, both of the professional staff and of administrative staff, that through attrition moving forward, we will not likely replace. So we don't have a ton of fat to cut is the issue that we have. The district's been well run for a very long time. If we were overstaffed, it'd be much easier. Our financial status, not unlike almost every other school district besides the ones that are getting tons of money from the state, is we're in a rough spot. We've been running structural deficits. We're losing money. We've been working hard to close that gap, and we're going to continue to do that, but it is difficult to do when our health care is increasing and special ed costs are increasing, and those increases are mandated and they're greater than what we're able to bring in additional revenue from the state and through taxes. But for our part, I don't think anybody can credibly accuse us of not seeing the fact that we were headed for and we're in difficult financial situation, and forecasting out where we can make those cuts without severely impacting the students who we all saw here tonight and their high school experience, or their school experience, not just their high school experience, but we need to deliver a quality product. And all 3 of our schools have been performing incredibly well, a testament to the teachers, the staff members, the administrative staff, and doing so with less and less people being asked to do more and more. So our financial situation, I'd love to sit here and say it's great. It is not. Most public school districts right now, their situation is not great either. But we are working hard to cut as much as we can responsibly and still deliver a quality product. If you're asking last year, our loss was 1.2 million. And this year, at this time, we're projecting a $900,000 loss. But it is a structural deficit that we've been cutting into, and if not for healthcare, would have been closed already. Healthcare and special ed, either one of them. And our fund balance currently sits at 1.8 million.
Okay. Any other public comment? No? Okay. I will make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Secretary, please note a 8:34